On this episode of How to Do Florida, Chad and his wife Kristy are taking a mini vacation, literally.
Oh my gosh, this is so small.
On a tiny houseboat.
I mean, what more could you ask for?
A little bit more.
And look at the kitchen right there. And this is the bed, it folds out.
It's big fun on a wee vessel in the beautiful St. Johns River.
Definitely a tiny theme going on this weekend.
They'll also be stopping in to visit the quaint town of DeLand.
Sound like you're flying.
Does it look like I'm flying? To downtown DeLand.
Cheers.
And then it's wine and running and underwater jams and papas and pie as Chad counts down our top 5 Florida Keys events. It's time to do Florida.
Hey, today we're showing you how to do a tiny houseboat.
If you're looking for fun outside the theme parks in Central Florida, this is the place to come. Kristy and I stopped in to check out downtown DeLand in West Volusia County, located right between Orlando and Daytona Beach.
So Kristy and I are here in beautiful downtown DeLand. This place nice?
It's adorable.
Believe me, there is so much to do and see here.
In fact, this quaint town in West Volusia has been voted America's best main street.
Calling itself the Athens of Florida, DeLand is a small town with big culture. It features a thriving food and beverage scene, plenty of quaint shops offering opportunities to buy local, and a flourishing artistic community producing works of art seemingly around every corner, including one work that's become world famous.
Chad, look! Oh my gosh, it's those wings that I was telling you about.
Originally drawn for a print advertisement, the DeLand wings have become a social media sensation, photographed thousands of times for online posts, including a few new ones from us.
Sound like you're flying.
Does it look like I'm flying?
The local artist who painted these wings has agreed to show me and Kristy around downtown DeLand.
My name's Erica Group, and I painted the DeLand wings. I'm meeting up with Chad and Kristy today and giving them a mini tour around DeLand. I love it because it's home, but I also love it because it is such a great downtown. It's a wonderful place to live, and I'm excited to show Chad and Kristy what I love about it.
So Erica, where are we and why did you bring us here?
We're at Persimmon Hollow, my favorite brewery in DeLand. It is the only brewery in DeLand.
It's got a good vibe here. I mean, it feels very open, very local.
Yes.
Where did Persimmon Hollow Brewery get its name?
DeLand actually used to be called Persimmon Hollow. That was,
My goodness,
I know.
did you know that?
Had no clue. What's the foodie scene like down here?
We're very proud of our food here in DeLand.
Yeah.
Great Italian, great Greek, great Thai. We have a new pho restaurant that's awesome.
To downtown DeLand.
Cheers.
That's right.
Erica's art career has taken flight thanks to her DeLand wings.
Chad and I have had an amazing time here in downtown DeLand, but now it's time for the main event. I've rented a houseboat to go on the St. Johns River, but I have a little surprise for Chad.
Oh, what a day, girl. You picked a good one.
Isn't it beautiful?
It absolutely
Look at
is
this.
beautiful.
So here we are.
Is the boat picking us up? Where's the boat
No,
at?
this is it right here. It's called a Tiny Houseboat.
This is the boat we're going to be staying in for the next
Yes.
couple days.
It's got everything we ever need.
Honey, this is a tin can. We can't fit in this. Are you joking?
No, it's efficient.
Okay. It looks really small, baby.
Come on. Remember how we talked about keep it simple? This is
I don't
this is
remember
it.
saying that, but
Come on,
okay. All right, let's go check it out.
You're gonna
It's
love it.
very tiny.
This tiny concept is the big idea of these two, Carrie Lambert and Rick Phillips.
These houseboats were built in the 50s and 60s, and we were introduced to them by a friend and fell absolutely in love with them, and we wanted to restore them, and we decided we needed to share this experience with everybody.
We thought that it was the perfect vessel to sleep out here and experience all that the St. Johns River has to offer.
Our main goal is for people to get out and experience the real Florida. When you walk into one of our tiny houseboats, you're gonna feel at home.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Wow. It's perfect. And look at this table over here. And see, and look at the kitchen right there. And this is the bed. It folds out. I mean, what more could you ask for? We
little
got
bit more.
windows and look at this here. It says enjoy the little things. Isn't that perfect?
How appropriate.
Yeah.
This is a little thing.
Turns out, these little boats really do pack a lot into a tiny space. They're simple to operate.
Does it go pretty fast?
Actually, the boats go very slow.
Okay,
so
that's
they're
good.
easy to maneuver.
And really do offer all the facilities you might need.
Yep. All the comforts of home.
That's what we're trying for.
I'm ready for the tiny houseboat experience.
Woo! It's like a good day for a boat ride.
Up next, Chad and Kristy take in some Florida wildlife as their tiny houseboat adventure continues.
You forget how much wildlife are on this river. Birds, alligators, turtles. I mean, there's just always something to see.
Ooh, that's a big gator.
Wow.
And later, Chad's counting down our top 5 Florida Keys events.
You're watching How to Do Florida. And
We'll be right back.
Kristy and I are spending the weekend in beautiful West Volusia County in Central Florida. After a little quality time in the picturesque, perfect town of DeLand, we've taken to the St. Johns River for a little spin on a tiny houseboat. Tiny Houseboat Adventures has 18-foot vintage houseboats that can be rented for a unique getaway.
I'll tell you what, I got a chance to walk around and kind of take it in.
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm liking this. I mean, I think initially I was like, oh my gosh, this is so small, but it's so convenient.
You got everything at your fingertips, right?
Absolutely. What do you have planned for the day?
Well, we're gonna cook some lunch here on our little tiny houseboat in the kitchen there, and hopefully get to see some manatees.
Hey, these boats might be tiny, but they offer all the comforts of home.
So let me give you a quick tour. Here's where you steer. And now this is the beautiful living room. Here we have our important bathroom that has all of our necessities. And this is the tiny little kitchen. And here we have our stove and the sink, everything you need, all in one place.
Hold on, babe, we're turning around. Stand by, evasive action.
One of the real advantages of these little gyms is you can go places and do things that you simply can't on a bigger houseboat.
You can nestle into little coves and meander down little estuaries and really explore parts that not too many people have. Along the way, you can stop by different state parks, you can go to restaurants, and you can see a lot of old Florida.
You know, it's one of the great things about these trips is you forget how much wildlife are on this river. Birds, alligators, turtles. I mean, there's just always something to see. Absolutely beautiful.
There's even tiny birds.
We're seeing tiny birds. Definitely a tiny theme going on this weekend.
Well, maybe we won't have a tiny theme the entire weekend.
Chad, are you seeing this?
What?
There are 2 giant alligators right over here.
Oh my gosh.
They're just sunbathing.
That is a monster.
They're enjoying the wildlife right now.
Yeah.
Now, they don't fit into our tiny theme.
No, that is a giant alligator.
Okay. Wow.
I can't think of a better location in Florida for a boat like this than the St. Johns River. With 310 miles of beautiful, calm waters and over 100 springs within its watershed, visitors to this river are ensured endless possibilities.
One of my favorite places to be in this state is right here on the St. Johns River. Absolutely gorgeous river, so much history, such an iconic river here in our state. Absolutely beautiful.
Now that we've seen a couple of big gators, we're headed for the wintering home of another one of the river's larger inhabitants, manatees. Our destination is Blue Spring, where as many as 500 manatees spend the winter months basking in the warm waters that come from the spring.
So we're here at Blue Spring. This is a great place to see manatees. They come up in here by the hundreds to get out of the cold water in the St. Johns River. And the water's so clear in here so you can see them really good. It's really a great place to watch them.
While watching manatees never gets old, there's more important things in our future, like lunch.
Hey, Chad, how do you like your burgers?
Tiny.
You got it. Nothing like a tiny burger on a tiny houseboat.
What an incredible adventure out here on the St. Johns River on a tiny houseboat. Good idea, baby.
I'm glad you've liked it.
Coming up, Chad counts down our top 5 Florida Keys events. Get ready for some Keno Vino, a run with the locals, underwater symphonic sensations, a few hundred papas, and some Florida Keys creamy confectionery goodness. Yum!
You know, some of the world's most colorful and delicious events are held right here in the Florida Keys. And we're going to count down some of our favorites. We start in Key Largo and Islamorada at a culinary event that showcases some of the best flavors in the Upper Keys.
At Uncorked, the Key Largo and Islamorada Food and Wine Festival, you can enjoy tasty temptations and incredible wines from around the globe. South Florida's culinary experts show you what Key Largo and Islamorada have to offer. Then, 10 glorious days of wine tasting, events, dinners, cooking demonstrations, food and wine pairing classes, and art shows, all paired with fabulous sunsets, live music, hospitality like only the Florida Keys can provide. The festival highlight is the Grand Tasting, an unmatched multi-sensory experience for food and wine lovers. Area restaurants and wine experts come together to present samples of their finest cuisine and world-class wines. Live music, celebrity chef appearances, and cooking demos combine to serve up recipes for a spectacular afternoon of tasting in the fabulous Florida Keys.
Next, lace up your running shoes.
The 7-mile bridge run, which began in 1982, celebrated the completion of the new 7-mile bridge and the replacement of 36 other bridges. One of the many special things about the Florida Keys is how accessible they are, thanks in large part to the Overseas Highway. This modern wonder follows a trail originally blazed in 1912 when Florida's East Coast Railroad was extended from Miami to Key West. The crowning achievement of this engineering marvel is the 7-mile bridge, which connects the Middle Keys to the Lower Keys. Driving across the bridge should be on your bucket list of road trip adventures. And hey, not only can you drive on it, you can run on it too, at a race called 7-Mile Bridge Run. And it was started as a celebration of the bridge's opening in 1982. Every year, the bridge is closed to traffic for a couple hours, and 1,500 runners complete the only known run that is completely surrounded by water from start to finish. But if you want in on this Florida Keys event, you better be ready. Registration usually opens in early February, and the race often sells out within an hour. It's for a good cause, though. Proceeds from the race help Middle Keys youth athletic programs.
Okay, so what do you get when you cross a barracuda and a tuba? A barratuba, of course. And that's just one of the many wacky instruments you'll find at the Lower Keys Underwater Music Festival.
Love diving? Love music? Then this event is for you. Only in the Florida Keys can you find a quirky concert like this. It draws hundreds of divers and snorkelers and the occasional mermaid to Looe Key Reef, part of the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary, which protects the only living contiguous coral barrier reef in North America. The festival was created by Keys resident Bill Becker, who likes to think that even the fish get in on the swim of things.
Well, the fish seem to sway with the music. I've seen a big school of yellowtail right below the boat here, and they were gathered right around the speaker. I imagine it's something unique for them. They don't normally hear music underwater. Hope they appreciate it.
A radio playlist pre-selected by Becker himself is streamed live from underwater speakers. Think the Beatles' Yellow Submarine and Octopus's Garden, and of course, Fins by the Florida Keys' own Jimmy Buffett. Meanwhile, the musicians for this wet and wacky wing dig submerge with whimsical instruments, especially created for the festival by local artists. In addition to the barratuba, instruments have included the clamborine, or the sax eelphone, sea fan flute, and a flutelele. For those who prefer to listen and not get wet, the playlist is broadcasted live on a local radio station. Now, believe it or not, there's a couple things that make sense about these aquatic antics. Since sound travels 4.3 times faster in the water than air, Participants say the underwater experience is both unique and surreal. Most importantly, the festival was created for and still promotes conservation of the precious coral reefs that form the foundation of this marine ecosystem.
And finally, we're off to Key West, where two of the Keys' most famous icons are celebrated. One literary and one confectionery.
It's interesting that the man who's arguably the biggest literary influence on the Florida Keys and Key West arrived here almost by accident. Ernest Hemingway was returning from Paris, and after making a quick stop in Cuba, his first stop in the U.S. was in Key West on a boat, just to pick up a car. When the vehicle's delivery was delayed, the legendary writer and his wife found themselves exploring and eventually falling in love with Key West. Ernest Hemingway spent most of the 1930s living in Key West, and his exploits and compatriots from that time are splashed across the pages of some of his most endearing and iconic novels. His former home is now a museum, and his impact and influence are still felt throughout the streets of Key West. Especially in July, during Hemingway Days, an annual festival where the Pulitzer Prize-winning author's legacy, lifestyle, and literary gifts are celebrated. About 15,000 people hit the streets of Old Town Key West and revel in the flair and color of the town Papa Hemingway fell in love with. Two of the most popular events are Running with the Bulls and, of course, the Hemingway Lookalike Contest. The wacky Running of the Bulls is a homage to Hemingway's fascination and frequent participation in the Fiesta of San Fermin in Pamplona, Spain, which Hemingway was instrumental in making famous in the first place. The Key West version is a little slower and a lot safer. In this offbeat spoof, the well-known herd of angry Pamplona bulls is replaced by life-sized fake bulls on wheels, which are paraded through the streets of historic downtown Key West by Hemingway lookalikes. Those lookalikes are the key ingredient of the main event at Hemingway Days, the Ernest Hemingway Lookalike Contest. The competition is held at world-famous Sloppy Joe's Bar, originally owned by Hemingway's good friend and fishing companion, Joe Russell. Not only was it arguably the author's favorite hangout in Key West, it's where he met his third wife. The contest attracts upwards of 150 stocky, bearded men from as far away as Australia and Norway. Former winners judge the contest. Then they select the top papa. From papa to pie, we move on to the annual Key Lime Festival, a true celebration of that tart, aromatic dessert that became symbolic of the Florida Keys and the sweet indulgence they offered, the key lime pie. It's a treat to be savored. Every 4th of July, the Key Lime Festival plays host to the annual Key Lime Pie Eating Contest.
My 4th of July tradition in Key West is to eat key lime pie. We don't need no stinking hot dogs. You're in the Keys, you eat key lime pie, baby.
Contestants have to devour a 9-inch pie topped with a mountain of whipped cream without using a fork, spoon, or even their hands. In the event of a tie, and I'm reading from the actual contest rules here, the contestants wearing the most whipped cream and the biggest smile will be named the winner. You can get a front row seat and watch the contestants dive face first into a pile of key lime goodness. Oh, and don't forget to get your own piece of key lime pie while you're there.
There we go, the first key lime pie.
Okay, that's our countdown. But believe me, we have just scratched the surface with all the events and activities you can do down here in the Florida Keys. I want to encourage you to plan on attending one of these events on your next trip to tropical paradise. You know, from tiny houseboating on the St. John's to our events countdown here in the beautiful Florida Keys, we have had a great time exploring Florida. Well, that's our show. I hope you learned something. But more importantly, I hope you feel encouraged to get out and do Florida. You're watching How to Do Florida.
We'll be right back.
Chili, you're in the shot. Oh, man.
A lot of people don't wave at the wildlife. I like to do that. I think it's rude if you don't, you know? So a lot of times when you see me waving on the show, I'm really waving at the wildlife. Birds, alligators, turtles. I do wave at people on occasion, but mostly I stick to the wildlife. That's a bird right there. Okay, and we're gonna hit here. This camera boat keeps following us. That's really the problem, though. If you guys could just go away and give us some time to chill,
peaceful
that
out
would
here
be
without
great.
them.
You guys just park over there.
You sure you know what you're doing over here?
Honey, I might have broke it.
Oh no.
You know how to pump the bulb?
No.
Does it look like I'm flying?
Work it, honey.